because I used to trip a lot and yeah.
Before you like started taking any psych, did you have like a bad trip at all, or did
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would get super paranoid like when I had no tolerance and just like.
And you just kept smoking it anyways.
Yeah, and then it would just be good, and then it was good for like 8 years.
And
Not
then it just
even
got bad again.
for like since like 2018. I say I wasn't even getting high. The amount of weed I was smoking, I was just doing it to do it. I mean, that's a thought out. I deleted my Instagram like 3 different times and restarted when I started Instagram in 2018.
Yep.
And I deleted it 3 times all after 3 bad acid trips.
Damn.
And then I fully committed. The reason why I deleted it is because I didn't want my parents finding out. Because I was like scared of my parents finding out that I was smoking weed on Instagram. Actually,
that was the first ever like.
Actually, bad acid trips happened since when I was 14 up to like 20. But the bad
Bad at 14.
No, that's when I started. But the bad acid trips, I would say my first bad acid trip was 16 or 17.
You were tripping young, bro.
Yeah,
I started like 3 years after that. When I was 17.
I started tripping at 14, and my freshman year of high school, the last day of class, I tripped in school. And,
do you remember like how your first trip went?
My first trip was extremely fun.
Tell me about it.
So I took tabs at my friend's house. We had a sleepover, and his parents were home, so we were a little sketched out, but overall I had a good time.
Were you guys all like hiding in his bedroom or some shit?
No, we were in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were in the basement. I'm not friends with this guy anymore. I don't know where he is now, but we took I was just rolling on the floor, laughing for hours. Like that's the only thing I could have done laugh. I was laughing at flowers. I was laughing at a book.
That giggles hit.
Yeah, that giggles. So it was the best experience ever. And from that experience, I thought it was gonna be like that every time. And then 5-6 trips later, every single trip I had would be a bad trip, and then it just kept on being a bad trip. So that's why I quit psychedelics permanently.
Before you'd taken, what other drugs had you done when you were that young?
Before, yeah, at 14.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I took.
You started young.
I took sap at 14. I took at 14, alcohol at 14.
Alcohol and weed is like where I was at 14.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have the plug for that yet.
Yeah, there was just one kid at my school. He had everything.
So you just had the homie. Do you remember the first time that you had like a bad high when you smoked?
My first, probably like the 3rd or 4th time I was at the mall.
Really?
Me and my friend went to the mall. We would smoke outside of the Target on the rooftop. It was Palisades Mall, and I took a hit, and I would just think that everyone's watching me, cops are following me, everyone's out to get me, and I would be paranoid as hell. But that was when my tolerance was really low. That's when I would get paranoid. When my tolerance gets a little higher, I don't get paranoid anymore. But definitely feels like a psychosis, like bad trip or an bad trip. Paranoia can feel like that, except it's just like an hour and it goes away.
Yeah.
But
and I mean, that's got to feel scary to smoke or whatever you smoked and suddenly feel like you're having a bad psychotic trip.
Yeah.
Like that's not what you signed up for at all.
Because flower is psychoactive.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of people that I know don't smoke at all because the first time they ever smoked, it felt like a bad trip to them. And that's why they think every single time you smoke, it's gonna feel like that. For me, my tolerance and I just kept on doing it, and I would love it.
You kept going after that bad experience.
Yeah, I kept going.
And do you think you kept going after that bad experience because you'd had some good ones before?
Yeah.
Okay.
If
that was your first time, you wouldn't have kept going?
Probably, yeah. The first if that was the first time, I would never touch it. But the first 3 times were the best times in my life.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. I think out of all my time smoking, nowadays I forget about every sesh. Like, give me a year, I'm not going to remember the fucking sesh I had. But I'll never forget my first couple times getting high. You know, those were fun, dude. Yeah. It's different. I think, honestly, the smartest thing to do is just smoke until it stops feeling like that, and then just fuck it.
Yeah.
You know? Because you're always chasing that high again to an extent, you know? I mean, not really with, but in the back of your head, at least for me, every time I smoke, I'm like, man, I wish I was that high again.
Yeah.
I want that. So after your first experience that was bad smoking, that was, correct me if I'm wrong, before your first bad trip, right?
Correct.
So and that first bad trip was how long after?
I'm not too sure. Probably a year after, when I was 15 years old.
And it sounds like a lot of the time when you would have these bad experiences getting high, you would get really paranoid.
Yes, I get super paranoid. I think I'm in the Truman Show.
Yeah.
Especially if I go out in public. Like I took 3 times at the water park, and the whole time I thought I was on the Truman Show. I remember standing in a line behind someone. I was an Asian guy. He brushed his hair like this. I went up to him because I brushed my hair too. I went up to him. I'm like, "Are you mimicking me? Are you mimicking me?" And
he was probably freaked the fuck out, dude. He's like, "Who is this guy?"
He was confused, and I right hook him.
What the fuck? What?
Yeah, I right hook him, and all his friends just step up, and then my friends step up, and they're like, he's off something, please don't do anything. And then I was like, this line's too long, and I cut the whole line of the water park, walk up the stairs, and just go down the slide when the lifeguards were like, stop. And then right when I got down the slide, I was like, oh, this is the most relieving feeling ever, because lines are terrible on a
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you waited on a line before.
I think whenever you're tripping, you just don't have patience for anything.
Yeah.
Like, everything has to be flowing. Like, anytime when you're tripping, if you stop and just aren't doing something, that's going to be a bad time.
Yeah.
But that's like, I mean, to me, that sounds like a mental health episode in itself.
Yeah.
Alongside the trip.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of bad trips like that. Like I tripped in the city at an ASAP Mob concert, and that's not a place you want to trip because there's gunshot sounds,
crowded as
fuck. I was like this, staring at, like, there's gunshots. I was ducking, and people were like, "What's wrong with this dude?"
Yeah.
I remember going up to a girl, and I was like, "Are you?" I thought I had a theory that every single person at the show was tripping on. So I went up to a girl, and I was like, "Are you tripping too?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm tripping." And I was like, "On," and she's like, "Oh, hell no." So then I started like bugging out. I'm like, "Oh, everyone's not on." And then I went.
And you just couldn't accept that. You're like,
Yeah.
wait, everyone's not fucking tripping balls with me right now? Like,
yeah,
you just couldn't even tolerate
that.
that.
I couldn't tolerate it.
I'm confused, though, because if she said it wasn't, what the fuck was she tripping on?
Yeah,
like, I guess,
that's what I'm saying.
What the fuck is
But
her
I
problem?
took 3 tabs. Then my friends were like, one of my friends stayed with me because he was tripping too. But my other friend that was just drunk of alcohol was just fed up with us because we were bugging out the whole time. So he left, and he was the only one not on with us. So he left, and he drank a full water bottle of liquor at that time. So at the end of the show, me and my friend are like, "I have to save you." I was like, "I have to save you. I have to save you. We have to get home." And he was just paranoid too, since he was off tabs. And then I just right hook him and like hit him in his jaw.
You get aggressive, dude. You get crazy when you fucking. Why do you keep swinging on people?
No, but I right hooked him, and I'm like, "You gotta snap out of it." And then he just leaves, and then Ubers home. And at this point, I'm by myself in the city off 3 tabs in the middle of Central Park. So I ended up, I'm like, "Oh, wait a minute, where's my car?" Because I drove into the city, but I'm tripping.
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Where's my car?" And I pull out my parking pass, and I'm like, "Oh, this is the address." And I call my friend. I'm like, "Where are you?" He's like, "I'm by the parking garage." So I meet him at the parking garage, the guy who was just drunk on alcohol. And I was like, "Okay, which one of us is driving home? You're drunk off a bottle, but I'm on."
This is always the best part of the night. Who's fucking driving?
He's like, "I don't know." And I was like, "I'll just drive. It's my car."
Oh, boy.
so I started driving home off 3 times from the middle of Central Park, like right by Times Square. And he was freaking out the whole time because I couldn't read the directions. The GPS was deforming, and the roads were like the roads were deforming too.
So you're probably swerving all over the lanes and shit.
Yeah, I don't know how I made it. Grace of God, but I was swerving, not swerving, but the GPS was deforming, and eventually I made it all the way home. And I was like, damn, I don't know how I just did that. It was like an hour drive since I lived up north in North Jersey at the time.
It's kind of crazy what your brain can do when you need to get something done.
Yeah.
I've driven on a couple times too, and like that's pretty mind-blowing to think about in retrospect. Like, how the fuck did I make it home?
Yeah.
I don't know, you know?
I went all out my first video, 5,000 milligrams.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that the highest dose you've ever done?
Yep.
What did that feel like? That's more than I took, and I'm taking the highest dose of anyone I've ever spoken to.
Yeah,
so
honestly,
I'm intrigued.
my tolerance was insanely high, so I didn't really. It kind of just made me like foggy, brain foggy, and tired, and I ended up throwing up like 6 hours later, because I drank 5 bottles of 1,000 milligram bottles.
Oh.
And I guess it didn't settle well in my stomach, so I threw up like 6 hours later.
Were you high the next day or no?
No. My tolerance was, I'm telling you, I would eat edibles every night before bed. Like, I would probably eat 500 milligrams every night before bed just to go to sleep.
You got so lucky not waking up. I think, honestly, it might be because you threw up.
Yeah.
Maybe it saved you from some of it. When this was like 5 years ago, back when I lived in Illinois, I ate 5 grams of RSO for a 420 stream.
That's the same amount as 5,000 milligrams.
No, because it's not. It's like 80% THC. So
Okay.
the math comes out to like 4,200-ish milligrams. I ate all 5, got super high on stream, low-key got scared. I felt super light. Like, it felt like I had like G-force like applying to me, and it was getting more intense. So I was scared. I had
like
my stream.
Right?
Yeah, it was crazy. It was not. Oh,
Yep.
I hate edibles, bro.
Yeah, I don't.
It's not fucking, dude.
Yeah.
But I woke up, like, I went to bed totally fine. I was like, oh, I'm pretty high. I'm gonna sleep it off, dude. I woke up the next day. I don't even know a better way to word it. I felt retarded. Like, I felt this weight in my head, and I was slurring my words like I was blackout drunk. I remember I called my girl on FaceTime, and she was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And like, I was just like, like. And I was sitting there like, damn, this is what perma-frying is. Like, I really did it. I perma-fried my brain this time. I'm fucked. And I was having like almost like a bad trip. Yeah. Like a panic attack all day of like, what do I do if this is forever? Like, I'd never woken up and still been higher than I was the day before. Like, I was freaking out. It took 2.5 days for that shit to subside. I hated it.
Yep.
I don't do edibles anymore.
That was the feeling I had my trip that lasted. This was the first trip that lasted over a day. It went into 3 days. I was like, oh my God, this shit's gonna happen forever. Like, I'm up to the 3rd floor of my house. I was like gonna jump off.
Oh shit!
Head first, like down, and I went to jump off head first. I was like, I can't trip anymore. And then luckily, by the grace of God, I got pulled back by EMT agents, and in my mind, I didn't see EMT or police anywhere. And like, I got pulled back the same moment I decided to jump off. So I was like, no way. And that's when I started believing in God, because in my mind, I fully committed, but I got pulled back just in time. Like,
yeah, I mean, that's a powerful moment. I mean, what else can you think besides like some higher power?
Exactly.
You know?